So let's adjust these blue lights for the character, or at least the first blue light. The one from behind is perfectly fine. So let's just get a little bit closer to the character so that you can see the character. It was generally from the front, wasn't it, where it's quite intense. So let's get into a good position. Now we need to switch on our lights so we can see the character, and also our various effects so we can see what that looks like in real time. Now right there it looks fine. Then as soon as we're in the game world and we can see the character getting closer, it does become a little overexposed. And it may be the combination of the lighthouse lights coming in as well, which obviously add to the intensity. So it's the front light enemy 1. Okay, if you need to get to that, let's just click on the little arrow there next to enemy 1. And its intensity is currently set to 3, range 6, and there's the spot angle and the colour. So I'm actually just going to reduce this down to about 2.4. Let's try that. Okay, so now you can see that it's much darker. So if I now try and play this, there's the character. It still stands out. Okay, so the lighting is good. This may be a little bit choppy, this video, because of the low frame rate that I'm using in Camtasia. That's much better. Okay, so now I'm close to the character. There's no overexposure happening on this white shirt, or if there is, it's very, very minimal. Okay, I think that's much better effect. Okay, so that's the lighting that we're going with there, intensity 2.4. Now as you do bring in the other characters, enemies 2 to 6, you will have to do the same things for those, but you may have to judge those based on the textures. Because this character has quite a light top, it may very well just be the colour of the texture just doing that. So it's entirely up to you to decide what intensity you want that front light to be. Okay, so what we're going to do now is see how we can bring in multiple animations and get those to work together. Alright, it's basically just the basics in this session. So you can either click animator up there or just double click on the enemies. Okay, so we've got one animation at the moment. Now if we want to bring in another animation, we just simply click and drag it onto there and click and drag another one onto here. So this is how you lay out your animations. This one, the look around with axe, I know that the animation speed is too quick, so I'm going to reduce this down to about 0.4, okay, to slow this animation down. And I'm also going to do the same with idle with axe. It's far too fast, so I'm going to bring it down to 0.4. Now on the walking with axe, right click and choose make transition and just move your mouse. You don't have to click and drag it, you just move it and attach that to look around with axe. And in fact I'm going to drag this one up to here. Now you just use your roller ball on your mouse to move out and click the roller into the mouse in order to move around. So I'm going to go from look around with axe, right click, make transition to idle with axe, right click on idle with axe, make transition back to walking with axe, and now I've created a loop. Once it's finished with walking with axe, it will actually transition into look around. Once it's done with that animation, it will transition into this one, and then finally it will go back again. Let's see if that's what happens. Okay, that animation might be a little bit too slow actually. And then he transitions into that one. Once again, that one might be a little bit too slow. And then back into that one again. So it's just a constant loop that goes over and over. So I think I'll change these ones to about 0.6 instead. So these transitions at the moment, they don't have any conditions on them. So if we just click on the transition, we can see that we get a little representation of the transition between the walking animation and the looking around with axe. And where it says conditions, it says list is empty. So if you don't apply a condition to a transition, it just does it automatically. Now if that's what you want, if you want to play animations automatically, then that's fine, that's exactly how you do it. But when we get into setting up our animations, we are going to be using conditions to move between the various animation states. Okay, so for now I only want the walking with axe, so I'm actually just going to delete that one. Or you could just click on it and press the delete button, and that will also get rid of it. So we just want the walking with axe to be looping over and over again as we get the character to start navigating towards some targets.